The winter training arc starts now, and I am so excited to say that I am going to be focusing on everything that I need to do leading into the run up of January 2026 in order to help myself become a profitable trader. Now, as you guys can see, I took another loss today. Honestly, the trade was fine, but I'm starting to remember how I felt when I first started trading MNQ and getting used to how it traded. And I feel the exact same way with gold. There are certain things that I feel like I'm forgetting to do whenever it comes to trading and trading in a different way. Whenever it comes to trading gold, because it's a little bit more volatile, there are certain things that you have to account for. And it showed up again today. And we'll kind of talk about that. But I really want to say that for anyone who's watching this right now, you have to be prepared for the new year. You have to be prepared to be profitable in 2026. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that once January 1st comes, or even before it comes, there are a lot of people are going to be saying, New Year, new me, right? I'm not one of those people. It's about the habits that you continuously do leading up into the new year that will allow you to be successful heading into 2026. And this is where the training art comes in. One of my favorite shows or animes ever is Naruto. And in Naruto, there's one arc that completely made Naruto one of my favorite, if not my favorite story ever, but two, makes Naruto such a better, so much better person and ninja. And that's the Sage Mode arc, right? Or the Pain arc. And Naruto goes into training after Jiraiya dies. Sorry for spoilers if you guys haven't seen it. Goes into training, masters Sage Mode, and comes out and is a boss. And that's kind of the inspiration for what I'm going to be doing, which my training arc, my winter training arc has started now. I took a loss today, but I did everything I was supposed to do. I think there are certain times where we take losses as traders, especially if you're on a losing streak like how I am right now, and it feels like you don't know what you're doing anymore, you don't know how to trade, maybe you should be switching your strategy, but it's like this is all part of the process. And I actually want to do a little bit of a reaction video towards the end of this video about one trader. I think his name was Scott. I can't remember. I have to look up his channel again. But he goes into it perfectly, and I will add that at the end of this video. But you have to remember that losing is part of the game. And if you're not on a winning streak, if you're taking a few losses in a row like I am, you just have to understand that's a part of the game. Of course, always evaluate what you're doing wrong. Always evaluate if there's something that you could improve on, but don't be so quick to think that you need to switch your strategy or to be quick to change something. For myself, last week my two of the losses on Monday and Thursday were result of me not doing what I was supposed to do. Today, my loss, we'll go over it now, was a standard loss, but I think too, I remember making a video called Being Definitively Wrong. And with gold, I actually haven't had the full opportunity to do so, right? I've kind of kept it tight because it's been more volatile. But if we take a look, this is exactly what I was looking um, at the time that I took my trades. In fact, let's go into the execution so it shows. If you look and see where I took my executions, you'll see that it was very quick, right? I entered here, I've stopped out here, it was within 10 minutes. A lot of times my trades take much longer because I allow myself to be definitively wrong. You'll see here, we're bearish, right? This is how we opened, we went up, we came down, clearly bearish. So here at 9 o'clock, we have this huge spike in volume. And now I believe that this is a volatility candle, right? The 9. I don't know what session or what exchange opens at 9 o'clock, but we got it. But still, this is exactly what I was looking for, to sell off of value area highs. We got it, but then we continue to climb up. Now, the volume climbing up is kind of normal, right? But the candles aren't like expressive. I did end up stopping out here, right? You'll see here on the executions, I ended up stopping out here. I just felt like, okay, well, that's it then. My stop loss was set a little bit above this 103 level. You can see we stopped out. But two things that I could have done better. One, I entered with two contracts, and it was until I did do a trade on my practice account too, so I could kind of see. But entering two contracts, my initial stop loss was $467, and I realized that wow, that's actually a little bit too much of what I want, right? So that was first mistake. Second mistake was my stop loss was above prior day value area low, right? Which is where we rejected initially. So if we're to be definitively wrong on this, you have to come above this level. Now, that doesn't mean just bleed out money, right? But it does mean that I should be holding that level. Look what happens after this. It's like it tagged me at the top, and then it goes exactly how I thought it would. Now, it does take some time, but my level, my target was around this 80 level. So we do end up coming down there, which is nice. But in fact, we do end up going lower. Now, again, it takes some time. I probably would have been out of this trade by here, right? But it ends up dropping, and I actually read the market correctly. So, in that, it shows again, I took a loss, but I know what I'm doing, obviously. I don't know why YouTube loves to use this as my thumbnail a lot, but right now we hit our peak, we double topped here, and now we're starting to head lower, but I'm sure we will bounce back. And this is where the winter training arc comes in. Part of it is not only just in trading, but in my life in general too. Right now, as I'm recording this video, I just had this procedure done for my eye, for my sty. My sty is still there, but apparently it's supposed to open up like all of my oil glands or whatever, help to see if that sty can drain. I've been putting a lot of heat on my eyes, so my vision is blurry at as of this moment. Um, but I want to start eating healthier. I want to work out more. I want to start lifting weights. These are things that, I've been busy in life. I haven't been doing. I need to do a better job of that. When it comes to trading specifically, I want you guys to join me on this training arc. For the next 2 months leading up into 2026, I want you guys to do everything you can to stick to your rules, take actions a profitable trader would do, right? If that's back testing, if you need to back test 10, 20, 30 hours this week, you do that. If it's you need to read a book on, I don't know, for myself, it would be volume price analysis, do that. If you need to read a book on volume profile, do that. If you need to read um, or watch videos on ICT or order flow or whatever it is that you trade, however it is that you trade, do those things. Come into the market prepared every single day. Come in, make a plan. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to trade. I am not going to take dumb trades. I'm not going to take trades when I shouldn't. For myself, taking a trade at value area high for a buy, meaning that I want it to go up, is the wrong thing for me to do. So why would I do that? I also really withheld myself last night in taking this low right here as a buy from a value area low. Why? Because we were bearish, and I know that I need to be on the right side of the market if I want to have any chance. So that is something that I was cognizant of that I did not do. These are the things that will allow you that when 2026 comes, January 1st, where people have all of these goals, all of these things that you want to do in terms of monetary gains or whatever it is, people are going to be unprepared when that time comes, when January 1st or whatever the market, whenever the first day of the market is in the year. I think it's like January, might actually be January 2nd. I'm not sure. It might be January 5th. But whenever that day is, people are going to look at that and be like, oh, well, I'm going to try to make for myself, it's $25,000 in payouts for 2026. And you're going to go in there and you're making so many mistakes that might take you months to fix before you're like, okay, I finally got it now, right? Technically, you could say that this whole year has been my run up until next year, but really it starts now. Make sure that you are doing the best that you can to finalize whatever it is that you need to do so that way when 2026 comes, it's just smooth sailing. Not exactly, right? Because it'll never be smooth in trading, as you can see. But The things and the habits that you start implementing now will be second nature once the time comes for the full year to start. And by the end of 2026, you will be exactly where you need to be. So join me on that. I might be doing, not that I might be doing, I will be doing accountability partners in Discord. We have it set up already, me and Stephanie, we have it set up, but we need to actually go through and figure out exactly what we want to do in terms of how we want to do it. So if you want an accountability partner, join the Discord, select the accountability buddy. So that way you'll be tagged for being open to having an accountability buddy. It doesn't have to be partners, it can be in groups, 2, 3, or 4 people as well. But really, it's just to be able to keep people accountable. Also, too, with this as well, again, I have to get this set up. So this is not a full guarantee, but I will be doing another giveaway. And this giveaway has to do with the winter training arc. And it's basically you're showing your process, you're showing what you're doing week by week, right? For the next, I think it's about 8 weeks or so, doing everything that you can to be profitable, whether you're someone that's already profitable now or you're someone that's struggling, right? I want to see what you guys are doing in order to get to that point because not only is it going to help me, right? Motivation, inspiration, but also to knowing like what a process is, especially for a profitable trader. But it's going to help people of the community in Discord as well. So please join the Discord. Um, Look out for that announcement. Most likely, the giveaway will be happening around that type of winter training arc theme as well. Um, and then lastly, too, let's actually go on YouTube. I think it's in my history. If you'll go into my history here, I did watch this video earlier today. Um, so let's react to this. Hopefully the volume isn't too loud for you guys, but I do want to talk to you. Yeah, Dave Scott Trades. This guy, honestly, he hasn't put out a video in a while, but one of the things he ends up saying in here too, I hope I can find it quickly so I'm not wasting everyone's time here. But he goes on to say, essentially, I guess we can kind of talk about it here, but this is his channel, guys, Dave Scott Trades. Really good trader. In this, he talks about how he's, at this point anyway, had $70,000 in payouts this year. I think this was recorded like a few months ago. But there was a point where he was up 17K, and by the end of the month, he was down like $7,000. So he only was up 10K, right? And you would think that he'd be a terrible trader because this happened to him. In reality, that's just part of the game. That's just part of losing. And I think that's something that I need to remind myself of too. So let's see if I can quickly find this for you guys.
The things it takes to be a profitable trader is painful, and there's no way around that. It feels more pleasurable to do the wrong things. It feels pleasurable to oversize. It feels pleasurable to overtrade. It feels pleasurable to turn a losing day into a winning day. But is this profitable over a long period of time? Most likely not. So what you need to understand is probabilistic variance. This is the variance in probabilities that you're going to experience throughout your trading journey. So you can have a strategy that's amazing, right? Let's say you have a strategy that has an 80% win rate. If you've ever played poker, you know that aces against kings, if you have aces and the other player has kings, that's a 80-20%. So there's a 20% chance that kings will win, and there's an 80% chance that aces will win. But if you've ever played any amount of poker, you see aces get cracked all the time.
This is the variance that I'm talking about too, right? You have to be on the right side of the market in order for yourself to have the best chance at winning. It doesn't mean that will happen every single time, right? And with my trade today, I was on the right side, but I just didn't execute well. I didn't give it enough chance for it to work out, and that is why I lost. So it's always really important to be able to identify those markers or triggers, right? For yourself to actually be on the right side of the market. This includes daily bias. This includes where the market is trending, right? And anything else that helps you with your trading as well. I do want to skip a little bit too, because he does go on to say, I think it's in a little bit from here, where he talks about losing.
Right? Because you're like, I'm supposed to win. I was supposed to win this hand. But this is where people go off the rails. When everything's going well, trading's easy, right? If you're just winning and all is well and money's coming into your bank account, then everything's good. It's the downturns that people don't talk about. And every professional trader experiences them because of probabilistic variance.
Yep.
It's mathematically impossible unless you have a 99, 100% winning rate strategy. It's impossible to not go through a variance of probabilities where things don't go in your favor over.
And what I want to say about this too is that even if you lose, right, and it's just up to probability, there's still so many things that you can do well. It's still so many things that you can improve on whenever it comes to your trades. Like I was talking about for myself last week, the only day I can say that, oh, it was just kind of like up to whatever, right, up to probability is Friday. Thursday and Monday were days that I did not trade well. So I lost. This week, for today, I could have given it more room to work and it would have worked out. So these are things that even though it's like you're on the right side or it just doesn't go your way, whatever the case may be, there's still so many times where you can improve and get better. And you have to look at it as that. You cannot just be passive and say, okay, well, it is what it is. It just didn't work out today. There's something, most times, I would say most cases for myself, it's about 90%, 90 to 95% of the time, where I can look at my trade and say, I could have done this better in order for it to work out.
Over a series of trades. Okay, maybe I am on a bit of a losing streak, but I always know it's going to come back around because the math shows that sometimes you'll take 5 losses in a row, but other times you'll take 8 wins in a row.
Yep.
So you need to keep this in mind when you're trading. Of okay, maybe I am on a bit of a losing streak, but I always know it's going to come back around because the math shows that it has to. And it's important to not let these downturns get into your head and make you think, I'm a bad trader, I suck at this, I should never do this, and quit trading. Because as you know, I've pulled $70,000 out of the market so far in 2025, but just in the last couple weeks, I had a drawdown before going into this live account where I started out June really, really well. And halfway through June, I was already up $17,000 on the month. And by the end of June, I was only up $10,000 on the month. So I lost $7,000 in half a month.
So look at that. Like, again, Dave Scott, very good trader, moved to a live Topstep account. He was up 17, I think he was up 17K, he said, and then he lost however much to be down 10K. And it's like, if someone were to look at that, right, and see that, especially just the losing, they'd be like, you need to change something, you need to do something, whatever, whatever. But again, there are times, right, even though you're looking at everything that you're doing and you're doing everything you're supposed to, you just lose. And that's okay. And we have to be able to remember that, especially too when we're trading.
And almost every trade I took was a losing trade. But this is normal. People would look at this and be like, this guy doesn't know how to trade. But I'm not focused on the short term of how much I've made this week or how much I've made in the last couple weeks. I'm only focused on, am I pulling money out of the market every single month, month after month? But even while going through this downturn, I still took a really good amount of payouts in.
So, and that's the point that I'm trying to get to as well. I want to be able to get to the point where I can consistently pull out money from the market, right? This month has been good overall. We've taken losses, but we've controlled them, right? Especially compared to last month as well, where we're taking these huge losses, especially this week as well. So it's not like we're not doing a good job, but I just want to stress to everyone that when it comes to trading, you will lose. I'm pretty sure everyone knows that, right? But whenever you're going through that downturn, it feels like you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to trade, you feel like it's never going to turn around for you, but it will, right? And I just want to say that. So anyway, guys, that is it for today's video. I know a bit of a different one, reacting to some content. This is not a react channel, I promise you, but it is the beginning of my winter training arc, and I hope it is the beginning for you guys too. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys are trading well, and yeah, keep trading stoically.